Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most horrifying figures in American history, Ted Bundy. He wasn't a monster lurking in the shadows, he was the handsome, charming man next door. His story isn't just about his crimes, but about the terrifying luck and unbelievable arrogance that allowed him to elude capture for so long. It all started to unravel on a late night in 1975 in a quiet Salt Lake City neighborhood. Patrol Officer Bob Hayward noticed a Volkswagen Beetle driving suspiciously slow, its headlights off. When he flashed his lights, the car bolted. A short chase ended at a deserted gas station. The driver was Ted Bundy. Inside his car, Hayward discovered a chilling collection of items: a ski mask, a crowbar, an ice pick, and a pair of handcuffs. There were even strips of nylon pantyhose, perfect for makeshift restraints. The evidence was bizarre, deeply unsettling, but without a specific crime to connect it to. The police had no choice. They had a monster in their grasp, and they had to let him walk away on bail. Bundy's most powerful weapon wasn't a crowbar or an ice pick, it was his face. He was the master of the normal. Growing up, he was seen as a bright, religious young man with a promising future in law. But this was a carefully constructed mask. Beneath it lay a profound psychopathy, with disturbing signs of cruelty showing up even in his youth. In one terrifying incident, he surrounded his sleeping aunt with knives from the kitchen. As he grew older, he weaponized his good looks and polite demeanor. He perfected a truly sinister method. He'd fake an injury, often wearing a cast on his arm or using crutches, and ask young women for help carrying books to his car. It was a simple, devastatingly effective ploy that preyed on their kindness, luring them to their doom. But even the most meticulous killer eventually makes a mistake. For Bundy, that mistake was a young woman named Carol Darrich. In October 1974, Bundy approached the 18-year-old at a shopping mall. He was posing as a police officer, Officer Rosalind, and told her that someone had tried to break into her car. He convinced her to come with him to the police station to file a report. Trusting the uniform, she got into his Volkswagen Beetle. That's when the mask slipped. Bundy lunged at her, snapping a handcuff onto one of her wrists. In a surge of pure, desperate adrenaline, Carol fought back with everything she had. She managed to wrench the car door open and scrambled out, flagging down a passing car and escaping with her life. Her incredible bravery was the turning point. Later, from a police lineup, Carol Darrich pointed her finger directly at Ted Bundy, securing his very first conviction and giving investigators the crucial link they needed to connect him to the string of disappearances that had haunted the region. However, Bundy's story is as much about his escapes as it is about his crimes. His arrogance was truly astonishing. While on trial for murder in Aspen, Colorado, he was given the almost unbelievable privilege of acting as his own lawyer. This meant he could move around the courthouse unshackled, including visits to the law library. Seeing his chance, he made a spectacular leap from a second-story window of the library and vanished into the mountains. For 6 days, he was a free man. But the wilderness was unforgiving. Exhausted, cold, and lost, he was recaptured, his brief taste of freedom over. But Bundy was far from finished. In December 1977, he orchestrated an even more audacious escape from a jail in Glenwood Springs. He had starved himself, losing enough weight to squeeze his body through a small light fixture opening he had cut in his cell ceiling. He then navigated the cramped, dusty crawl spaces and ventilation shafts above the cells, eventually breaking through into an apartment used by a jail guard, which was right next to the prison. He stole some street clothes and simply walked out the front door into the cold night. Incredibly, no one noticed he was gone for 17 hours. This time, he didn't head for the mountains. He headed east to Florida. His arrival in Florida marked the beginning of his final, most savage rampage. In the dead of night, he broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. He moved from room to room, unleashing a frenzy of violence. He brutally attacked for young women, killing 2 of them. Just a few weeks later, he abducted and murdered his final known victim, a 12-year-old girl named Kimberly Leach. The renewed wave of terror confirmed the nation's worst fears. The escaped killer was back, and he was more dangerous and depraved than ever. The massive, multi-state manhunt finally came to a close in Pensacola, Florida. Officer David Lee spotted a stolen car being driven erratically. When he pulled it over, the driver, Ted Bundy, tried to fight him, even attempting to grab the officer's weapon. But this time, there was no escape. Lee successfully subdued him. The nation had its most wanted man back in custody. Bundy's final trial was a media circus. One of the first to be broadcast nationally, he soaked up the attention, once again choosing to represent himself in a bizarre display of overconfidence. In perhaps the strangest moment of the entire saga, he proposed to his girlfriend, Carolyn Boone, right there in the courtroom while she was on the witness stand. Under a strange quirk of Florida law, Her acceptance made their marriage legally binding, but all the courtroom theatrics couldn't hide the mountain of evidence against him. Bite marks left on one of the sorority victims were a perfect match to Bundy's own teeth, providing the undeniable physical proof that sealed his fate. Ultimately, Ted Bundy was convicted and sentenced to death. In the days leading up to his execution, he finally began to confess, admitting to 36 murders across several states. Investigators, however, have long believed the true number of his victims could be well over 100. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy's reign of terror came to a definitive end in the electric chair. The charming mask was gone, and the monster behind it was finally silenced, closing one of the most chilling chapters in the history of American crime. Thanks for watching, and if you found this story compelling, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into history's most fascinating cases.